projects are rolling in PwC and more should roll.
As far as I'm concerned, the advent of the NAC could not have come too soon.
What proportion of your consultancy contracts are with PwC?
It's one of the nation's largest consultancy firms, winning millions of dollars in government contracts each year. But PwC Australia is in hot water.
We are alive to the concerns that are being raised about the conduct by PwC.
We will monitor more closely the 6 contracts that we have.
I have serious concerns, like so many Australians.
At Senate estimates this week, the Big Four firm has been in the spotlight following revelations it exploited confidential tax information for its own financial gain. Now the Australian Federal Police is investigating after receiving a referral from Treasury.
Yesterday we received a report of crime from Treasury. The report of crime alleges unauthorised use or disclosure of protected information.
The federal government says all of those responsible must be held to account.
This is a grotesque betrayal of trust of the Australian government and of our citizens. So I can just absolutely tell you the Australian government takes this incredibly seriously.
It's been a long and slow unfolding saga that stretches back over a decade.
Peter Collins, I'm a partner in the International Tax Services Group of PwC.
In 2013, PwC partner Peter Collins signed the first of 3 confidentiality agreements with Treasury and began advising on planned new tax avoidance laws. From 2014, he shared confidential information with others at PwC, including sensitive details about a looming crackdown on multinational tax avoidance. In 2021, the Tax Practitioners Board launched an investigation after receiving a tip-off about Mr Collins. Late last year, his tax agent registration was terminated and PwC was ordered to improve training on managing conflicts of interest. In January, details of sanctions against Mr Collins and PwC were made public, and earlier this month, CEO Tom Seymour stepped down.
A disturbing aspect of this is that the events are 10 years old and they came to light really because of good work by journalists.
The Department of Finance holds $255 million in contracts with the firm.
I consider PwC's abuse of confidence and trust with the Treasury and PwC's subsequent handling of this breach to be a very serious issue.
Earlier this month, internal PwC emails published by a Senate committee revealed the scale of the breach. Dozens of personnel at the firm had known about the plan to use the confidential tax information to help clients dodge new laws and win new clients.
This additional information raised serious concerns about the broader culture within PwC and undermined our confidence in their earlier engagements with finance around this matter.
The Department of Finance has directed PwC to stand down staff implicated in the leak from working on all existing and future Commonwealth contracts pending the completion of a review.
The minute Mr Peter John Collins took this back to PwC, every ethical standard that allows them to operate means that he should have been shut down, shamed and removed. Instead, he was celebrated, encouraged, and the scheme flourished, not just in Australia, but around the globe.
Labor Senator Deborah O'Neill helped uncover the extent of the breach and wants the identities of all those involved made public.
There's a contagion threat that people who have left and leave PwC take with them this cultural practice and embed it in the new workplace, or, goodness, might even volunteer to support some inquiry from the federal government or embed themselves on the board of a major company.
The Greens are calling for broader action, arguing the firm should be barred from receiving future government contracts.
Why aren't you, given the ethical breach, simply banning PwC?
That's not the advice that we have, that you could just go out and ban one organisation from all contracts within government.
The reason why the government isn't proposing a ban is just a symptom of how embedded these consultants are in our government. The government's not imposing a ban because PwC is so intertwined with governmental affairs that it's indispensable. So it's very hard to impose a ban. That's a problem.
The acting chief executive of PwC declined an interview with 730. In a statement, a spokesperson said,
"We deeply regret that we've failed the high standards we set for ourselves as an organisation. We now need to re-earn trust, which is why we've taken appropriate action, including announcing an independent review of the firm's governance, accountability and culture."
This tax leak scandal has brought into focus the government's over-reliance on the private sector. Increasingly, external consultants have been brought in to fill gaps in knowledge and skills within the public service. Labor went to the election promising to reduce spending on consultants and build more in-house expertise.
We're doing what we said we would do. We will rebuild the Australian public service. And we will attend to it in a way that enhances national security and doesn't put us as a nation at risk in the way that these malign practices from a consulting agency have now been revealed.
Part of the problem with using consultancies of this kind is that they owe their primary duties to their shareholders to turn a profit. And the fact is that that's not consistent with the way in which the bureaucracy works, where the primary duty is owed to us as Australian citizens.